The buzz around a 2,000-kilometer EV battery has electrified the industry, sparking conversations among engineers, automakers, and everyday drivers alike. This isn't just another incremental improvement, it's a potential game-changer that could redefine what we expect from electric vehicles. The promise of such a battery goes far beyond simply extending range. It could erase range anxiety for good, making cross-country trips effortless and spontaneous. Families could plan vacations without worrying about where to stop and charge, and commuters could drive for days without plugging in. Imagine driving from Paris to Rome or New York to Miami on a single charge. No more constant planning for charging stops. The freedom to travel long distances without interruption would fundamentally change the way we use our cars, opening up new possibilities for adventure and convenience. This leap could make EVs not just competitive, but truly superior to gasoline cars. With longer range, faster charging, and lower running costs, electric vehicles could finally surpass their combustion engine rivals, transforming how we think about personal mobility and transportation. Such a battery could do more than just move you from place to place. It could power your home during outages, serve as a backup energy source, or enable off-grid adventures in remote locations. Your car could become a true energy asset, supporting your lifestyle in ways we're only beginning to imagine. But is this breakthrough real, or just a futuristic headline designed to grab attention? The idea sounds almost too good to be true, and it's natural to wonder how close we really are to seeing it on the road. The journey from lab innovation to mass-market product is long and full of challenges. Turning a promising prototype into a reliable, affordable battery that can be produced at scale is a complex process involving years of research, testing, and investment. To understand what's truly possible, we need to look beyond the hype and examine the science and economics behind these bold claims. What are the real breakthroughs, and what hurdles remain before this technology can change our lives? Let's dig into what's really driving the excitement and the skepticism around this next-gen battery, and explore whether we're on the verge of a revolution, or just witnessing another chapter in the ongoing evolution of electric vehicles. The excitement centers on a Huawei patent for a solid-state battery, claiming up to 3,000 kilometers of range, over 2,000 by US standards, and a 5-minute recharge. This tech uses a nitrogen-doped sulfide solid electrolyte, promising energy densities 2 to 3 times higher than today's best batteries. Solid-state batteries replace flammable liquid electrolytes with safer, more stable solids, boosting both safety and lifespan. Huawei's innovation could mean batteries that are more powerful, safer, and longer-lasting. But a patent is just a blueprint, not a product. Turning this lab breakthrough into an affordable, mass-produced battery is a massive challenge. The patent signals ambition, but it's not a guarantee of what's coming to your driveway soon. So, how close are we to seeing this tech in real cars? The dream of a 2,000-kilometer battery is captivating, promising road trips without stops and a future where range anxiety is a thing of the past. But making this dream a reality faces enormous hurdles, starting with cost. Right now, the advanced solid-state materials needed for such batteries are extremely expensive, so much so that a single battery pack could push the price of an electric car to over $250,000. That's far beyond what most drivers could ever afford, making these ultra-range EVs more of a technological showcase than a practical option for everyday people. Manufacturing at scale is another mountain to climb. Building these batteries isn't just about tweaking existing lines. It would require entirely new factories, specialized equipment, and a workforce trained in next-generation technologies. This means years of investment and planning before even a single ultra-range EV could roll off the line. Even battery giants like CATL, who lead the industry in innovation, predict that true mass production of solid-state batteries is still years, if not a decade away. The technology is promising, but scaling it up to meet global demand is a slow and complex process. Then there's the issue of size and weight. To achieve a 2,000-kilometer range, a battery would need to be massive, potentially weighing as much as a small car itself. This extra weight would hurt acceleration, handling, and overall efficiency, making the vehicle less practical for daily use. Ultra-fast charging is another major challenge. Recharging such a huge battery in just 5 minutes would require power levels far beyond what today's charging stations can deliver. The cables, connectors, and safety systems would all need to be upgraded to handle this immense load. Supporting this kind of charging would mean massive upgrades to our entire electric grid and charging infrastructure. we're talking about an investment of trillions of dollars, new power plants, and a complete overhaul of how energy is delivered to our roads. So, while the numbers and possibilities are exciting, the reality is that these ultra-range batteries are far from ready for everyday drivers. For now, most people will continue to rely on more affordable, practical EVs with ranges that fit their daily needs. The obstacles are not just technical, but also economic and infrastructural. It's a puzzle that involves scientists, engineers, policymakers, and utility companies all working together. For now, ultra-range EVs remain a vision, an exciting glimpse of what the future could hold, but not something you'll find at your local dealership just yet. So, what can today's batteries actually deliver, and how close are we to bridging the gap between dreams and reality? While ultra-range batteries that promise thousands of kilometers are still being perfected in research labs, the batteries available in today's electric vehicles are already impressive and rapidly improving. For example, KTL's Shengsing Pro battery, which is already powering some European cars, is setting new standards for what drivers can expect from their EVs. This battery offers up to 758 kilometers of range on a single charge, and it comes with a 12-year warranty, giving drivers both confidence and peace of mind for the long haul. For most people, that's more than enough to cover daily commutes, weekend getaways, and even longer road trips without worrying about running out of power. Long journeys are now practical, with only brief charging stops needed along the way. And the innovation doesn't stop there. CATL's sodium-ion Naxtra battery, which is launching soon, is set to make EVs even more accessible. The Naxtra battery promises affordable electric vehicles with up to 500 kilometers of range, opening up EV ownership to even more people. Sodium, the key ingredient, is much cheaper and more abundant than lithium, which helps drive down manufacturing costs and makes batteries less dependent on scarce resources. CATL has even developed batteries with energy densities that rival those of solid-state batteries, which are often seen as the future of energy storage. However, these ultra-high-density batteries are currently aimed at aviation and other specialized uses, rather than everyday cars. For automakers, the real challenge is finding the right balance between range, cost, and battery longevity, delivering practical solutions for real-world drivers. It's not just about chasing the biggest numbers or the longest range, but about making EVs reliable, affordable, and long-lasting for everyone. Today's batteries are already addressing range anxiety for most people, making electric vehicles a practical choice for daily life. With more charging stations and better battery technology, drivers can travel farther and recharge faster than ever before. The real revolution isn't just in the lab, it's happening on the road, as EVs become better, more affordable, and more accessible for everyone, right now. The real promise of solid-state batteries isn't endless range, it's smarter, lighter, and more affordable EVs. Most experts agree that 800 to 1,000 kilometers is the sweet spot for range, eliminating anxiety without the downsides of massive batteries. Higher energy density means you can get the same range with a battery half the size and weight. This makes cars lighter, more efficient, and more fun to drive, while freeing up space for passengers or cargo. Smaller batteries also cut costs and reduce reliance on scarce materials like lithium and cobalt. The result? More practical, comfortable, and sustainable EVs for everyone. The future isn't about giant batteries, but about optimizing every aspect of the vehicle. That's how solid-state tech will truly transform electric mobility. Huawei's patent is just one move in a global race to master next-gen batteries. The winner will dominate a market expected to hit nearly $289 billion by 2030, with solid-state tech at the center. Battery giants like KTL and Panasonic, automakers like Toyota, and startups like QuantumScape are all in the hunt. Tech companies like Huawei bring fresh perspectives and deep R&D muscle. This fierce competition is speeding up innovation, driving down costs, and bringing better batteries to market faster. For consumers, this means more choices and better EVs sooner. No matter who wins, drivers everywhere will benefit from this global contest. The race is on, and the stakes couldn't be higher. As of early 2026, the 2,000-kilometer EV is still more hype than reality. Patents like Huawei's inspire, but don't signal immediate product launches. The challenges, cost, manufacturing, integration, and infrastructure are massive and will take years to solve. What's real is the steady progress in battery tech, with new EVs offering 700, 800 kilometers of range and sodium-ion batteries lowering costs. When solid-state arrives, its biggest impact will be lighter, cheaper, and more efficient. Cars, not just extreme range. The goal is millions of practical, affordable EVs, not a handful of ultra-expensive supercars. Consumers should focus on real improvements coming soon, not just futuristic headlines. The electric future will be built on smart, practical advances, not miracle batteries. Step by step, EVs are becoming the obvious choice for everyone. So, what might truly unlock the 2,000-kilometer electric vehicle? The next wave of battery technology is already taking shape in research labs worldwide. Solid-state batteries, often called the holy grail of energy storage, promise to replace flammable liquid electrolytes with safer solid materials. This change could double energy density, shrink charging times, and boost overall safety, key ingredients for ultra-long-range EVs. But solid-state isn't the only contender. Scientists are exploring lithium-sulfur batteries, which could theoretically store up to 5 times more energy than today's lithium-ion cells. There's also buzz around silicon anode batteries, which can pack more charge into the same space. And even metal-air batteries using oxygen from the air as a reactant to drive energy density to unprecedented levels. All of these chemistries face their own hurdles: cycle life, stability, and manufacturing complexity. Yet, each breakthrough brings us closer to making 2,000 kilometers on a single charge a reality. The future of EV range isn't just about pushing one technology to its limits, but about a new era of innovation, where multiple battery solutions work together to redefine what's possible on the road. Even as next-gen batteries edge us closer to ultra-long-range electric vehicles, a new set of challenges comes into focus, ones that go far beyond what's under the hood. The promise of a 2,000-kilometer EV means little without a robust infrastructure to support it. First, there's the charging network. Longer range could reduce how often we need to plug in, but it also raises the stakes for charging speed and availability. Fast chargers capable of handling the massive energy demands of ultra-range batteries are still rare, and installing them in enough locations, especially in remote areas, won't happen overnight. Then there's the question of grid capacity. As more drivers switch to powerful EVs, the strain on local and national power grids grows. Upgrading transmission lines, building smarter load balancing systems, and integrating renewable energy sources are all essential steps, but each requires significant investment and coordination. Finally, maintenance enters the equation. Next-gen batteries and super-fast chargers will need specialized technicians and new safety protocols. Service centers must adapt, and emergency responders will require new training to handle incidents involving advanced chemistries. Ultra-long-range EVs could revolutionize travel, but only if the world around them is ready. The road to the future isn't just about better batteries, it's about building the systems to support them every kilometer of the way. As we imagine a world filled with electric vehicles boasting 2,000 kilometers of range, one question stands out: what will it cost to turn this vision into reality? For consumers, the initial price tag of ultra-range EVs is likely to be steep. Cutting-edge battery chemistries, advanced cooling systems, and reinforced vehicle structures all add to manufacturing expenses. While mass production and technological maturation will eventually drive prices down, early adopters can expect to pay a premium for the privilege of extended range. Manufacturers face their own set of financial hurdles. Scaling up production of next-generation batteries requires hefty investments in research, new factories, and specialized workforce training. Sourcing rare materials for advanced cells can drive costs even higher, especially in volatile global markets. These expenses often trickle down to consumers, reflected in the final sticker price. However, there's a flip side. Ultra-range EVs could offer significant savings over time: fewer charging stops, lower maintenance costs, and the potential for longer battery warranties. If governments step in with incentives or subsidies, the path to affordability could become clearer. Ultimately, the race for 2,000-kilometer EVs is a balancing act. Technological breakthroughs promise unprecedented convenience and capability, but they come with a price. The next few years will reveal whether manufacturers can deliver these advancements without putting them out of reach for everyday drivers, or if ultra-range will remain a luxury for the few. As we look beyond the sticker price of ultra-range electric vehicles, another crucial question emerges: what is the true environmental cost of these technological marvels? While ultra-range EVs promise to reduce tailpipe emissions and dependence on fossil fuels, their impact on the planet starts long before they hit the road. The journey begins deep within the Earth, where mining for lithium, cobalt, and nickel, key ingredients for next-generation batteries, can disrupt fragile ecosystems and strain water resources. The race for higher capacity batteries often means sourcing more of these rare materials, intensifying the environmental footprint of extraction and processing. Manufacturing ultra-range batteries also demands significant energy, much of which still comes from non-renewable sources in many regions. This means that the carbon footprint of building an ultra-range EV can be higher than that of a conventional vehicle, at least initially. But what about the long run? Over their lifetimes, ultra-range EVs can offset these upfront emissions, especially if charged with renewable energy. Fewer charging cycles may extend battery life, reducing the frequency of replacements and, ultimately, the burden on recycling systems. However, end-of-life management remains a challenge. Recycling advanced battery chemistries is complex and energy-intensive, and not all components can be easily reclaimed. Ultimately, the environmental equation of ultra-range EVs is nuanced. They hold great promise for decarbonizing transportation, but only if the entire supply chain, from mining to manufacturing, operation, and recycling, embraces cleaner, more responsible practices. As we strive for longer range and greater convenience, the real measure of progress will be finding sustainable solutions that protect both our mobility and our planet. Around the world, the race to develop and adopt ultra-long-range electric vehicles is unfolding in dramatically different ways. In Europe, governments are fueling innovation with generous subsidies, strict emissions targets, and ambitious deadlines to phase out combustion engines. Countries like Norway and Germany are leading the charge, prioritizing not just range but also clean energy integration, ensuring that EVs are powered by increasingly renewable grids. Across the Atlantic, the United States is betting big on both private and public investment. Major automakers are pouring billions into research, while federal and state incentives encourage consumers to make the switch. However, the sprawling geography and regional disparities in charging infrastructure mean that ultra-range EVs are especially prized for their ability to conquer long distances between cities. Meanwhile, in Asia, China has emerged as a powerhouse, leveraging its dominance in battery manufacturing and rare earth supply chains. The Chinese government's top-down policies drive rapid EV adoption, with a focus on mass-market accessibility as well as next-gen technology. Japan and South Korea, home to some of the world's most advanced battery makers, are pushing the envelope on efficiency and durability, aiming to make ultra-range EVs both practical and affordable. But it's not just the big players. Smaller countries and emerging economies are finding creative solutions, from battery-swapping networks in India to solar-integrated charging corridors in Australia. Each region faces unique challenges, whether it's grid capacity, raw material access, or consumer readiness, but all share a common goal: making ultra-range EVs a viable choice for the masses. As these global strategies unfold, the winners may not be those with the flashiest technology, but those who can balance innovation with sustainability, accessibility, and resilience. The road to ultra-range EVs is not a single path, but a worldwide journey, one that's reshaping the future of mobility for everyone. As the world races toward ultra-range electric vehicles, one question remains at the center of industry debate: will 2,000-kilometer range EVs become the new normal, or are they destined to remain a futuristic dream? According to industry analysts and leading engineers, the answer lies somewhere in between. Some experts predict that within the next decade, rapid advancements in battery chemistry, vehicle aerodynamics, and charging infrastructure could make 2,000-kilometer range EVs technically feasible for mass production. They envision a future where cross-country road trips in a single charge are not just possible but routine, transforming how we think about mobility, logistics, and even urban planning. However, others caution that the pursuit of extreme range comes with trade-offs. Larger batteries mean more raw materials, higher costs, and increased vehicle weight. For most drivers, the sweet spot may not be the longest range, but rather a balance between affordability, sustainability, and convenience, supported by an ever-expanding network of fast chargers. What's clear is that the next few years will be pivotal. With ongoing breakthroughs and growing consumer demand, The market will ultimately decide whether ultra-range EVs become a niche luxury or a mainstream necessity. One thing is certain, the dream of the 2,000-kilometer EV is no longer science fiction. It's a real possibility, and the world is watching to see who will turn vision into reality. For now, the journey continues, driven by innovation, global collaboration, and the shared goal of a cleaner, more connected future.